Hello everybody, we're going to have a look at the Wright and Sons Barlow knife that I showed in yesterday's video. Normally when I do an unboxing, a sneaky peek, it might be a while before I get to do a full review, and there are a handful of knives in the queue before this one. But since yesterday I've changed my opinion a bit on this knife. It does have problems, not least of which is the price, but it's growing on me. So I thought it would be the fair thing to do to have a closer look. Okay, so as we saw yesterday, this is how the knife comes in a plain white box with what look like homemade labels cut out and stuck on. And here is the knife. So the first thing would be, I think, just to go over the problems that led me to be initially quite disappointed with this knife. First one, the back spring. With the blade closed, the back spring stands proud at the hinge end. And of course it should be flush. The other problem is, with the blade open, the end of the back spring dips down between the bolsters. Not a great deal, but really it should be flush. The material they've chosen for the scales is very nice. Buffalo horn, they don't particularly match, but on this one it's not very well fitted. There's a gap between the edge of the scale there and the bolster, and you can get your thumbnail in that. And there is a small gap there as well. Now the blade centering is not good. It is way off to the side, but it doesn't rub on the liner. And the blade itself wasn't very sharp at all when I got the knife. So I've given the edge a bit of a tickle. It's C70 carbon steel, and at least now it will cut. Ooh, all I've done there is tidy up the edge that it had. I may at some point whip out the 240 grit wet and dry paper and put a completely new edge bevel on. But at least now it functions as a knife. So for the price, and this was £38 shipped, I don't think the attention to detail is good enough. Oh, there is one other thing I should have mentioned. Yesterday I thought where the big pin there has a black ring round it, I thought that was filler. But having looked closer, I think what they've actually done is burned the horn when they were drilling it. Because it's not filler, it's actually the scale material gone black. So given those quality problems, why have I decided that I quite like this knife? Well, basically it's very handsome. They have chosen lovely horn for the scales. The nickel silver bolsters have got a lovely soft yellow colour to them. They put quite a nice polish on the brass liners, and it's a lovely classic design. I'll give you a size comparison. There's the usual Victorinox Spartan copy. So it's a little bit chunkier, but very much the same sort of ballpark. We've got a handle length of 3.5 inches, about 90mm. The blade tip to bolster is, what's that, 70mm, 2 3/4 inches, and tip to tang is 2.5 inches. Let's see what it weighs. In grams, 74.5. So in English, 2.63 ounces. So a shade over 2.5 ounces. It's a good chunky blade. Apart from the quality issues with the fit and finish, it's very robust. It feels solid. The back spring is strong. There's no half stop, which is a shame, but never mind. And it clips back in very positively. So overall, I've changed my position from not being able to recommend it to being able to recommend it with some caveats. I think, given the flaws that it has, and they are only cosmetic, it would be better if this knife was £25 shipped, not 38. But having said that, I still think it is a lovely thing. I'll show you some stills and you can see whether you agree with me. Thanks for watching.